Hello everyone, this is Impulse and welcome back to the Moonlight Server. And guys, don't adjust your speakers. I probably do sound a little bit different than normal. I have spent the past couple days just sick as a dog. I mean, I haven't gotten that sick in a very long time. And I'm starting to recover now finally, but I am totally congested and probably sound pretty funny. And anyway, I couldn't help it. I got to make videos, guys. I am so excited to get into today's project that, sick or not, we are going to charge forward and get it done. The good news is, when I was sick, I was able to play a little Minecraft. It was a little therapeutic for me. It was an odd thing. I actually would feel better when I played Minecraft than just, like, say, laying on the couch and watching TV. So I don't know what it was, if it was in my head or what, but because of that, I used it as an excuse to get some things done, get a little bit of prep done for today's episode, and I went and did some mining. So what was I mining for? I was mining for these, mainly, hoppers. So what I have here is all the materials we're going to need to complete the restaurant. That's right. Complete the restaurant was the choice you guys chose with the voting options from the last episode. And that's what we're going to be doing today, and it's going to take all these materials to do it. So, of course, as I mentioned many times last episode, iron was a pain. I couldn't even finish my sorting system, which now you can see full hopper chains. And I'll go around back here and show you guys what's going on. You can see basically sorting systems for each set of silo there, and a hopper chain to go around all the way across the back and around the other side. So yeah, had to do a lot of mining for all that iron to make those hoppers. And then, of course, for the restaurant, I'm going to need all these hoppers because we're going to be using sorting systems there for all the different, I guess, menu items, you would call them. And the other good news is all that branch mining and caving I did, I got all this. So almost 3 stacks of diamond ore. Obviously, you can see I've been doing all my branch mining and caving with my Silk Touch pick. This Silk Touch pick right here is actually pretty special. I am able to repair it with just a regular diamond pick. So basically, every time I get it down, I think I have to get it down to, I don't know what the durability needs to be, but I get it to about 10 uses left, which I can see. You can see this one, I see a durability. And oh my gosh, I forgot what option it is. It's like F3 and then H, I believe, turns that on and off. Let's find out. If I do F3 and H, I just did that, and now you don't see a durability. And we'll try it again. F3 and H, and there it's back. So yes, F3H will allow you to see your durability on your tools. Pretty much anything that can take durability damage. And let's see. Yep, here too on your armor. So yeah, I haven't used this one yet. I just repaired it, but basically I get this thing down to like 10 durability, and then I'm able to repair it with just a regular pick. So I pretty much have unlimited Silk Touch pick here that, you know, doesn't take much to repair. Anyway, so I got all these minerals, ores you can call them, and I want to do something special with those here in a little bit. But first I want to show you something I did with my sorting system I thought was pretty cool. I was struggling with picking an item to put in. I'm going to need some blocks to stack jump. We need ender pearls. Bottom line. I'm going to complain about it until we kill the dragon, I think. Anyway, so I was struggling with what item to actually put in the sorting system to be the filter item because I was afraid that something might fall in and basically, you know, like you see people use different things like, I don't know, I've seen anywhere from ender pearls to bowls to, you know, shovels, wooden shovels, which would make sense. But I decided I would use eggs. And you're thinking, that's crazy because an egg could totally fall in there and you would be in trouble. But I renamed these eggs to X with an anvil, which didn't cost much, just a couple levels to do that for a stack of eggs. And I'm able to put in 12 eggs and then 5 of the item to be filtered. So you see that one's redstone and that one's glowstone dust and tangle joined. Hey, buddy. And yeah, so that's how I did the filtering system. And I'll just get back down here. And I thought that was pretty cool. Maybe you guys have other cool items to put in the filtering system. If you do, let me know. Yeah, I was pretty proud of that one. And the other thing I want to do here before we get started on the restaurant build is I want to take all these ores here, and I'm going to take them down to a safer spot because I don't want to break them up here and have them go flying over the edge and then have to deal with going and getting them. But I have this Fortune 3 pick, and I'm going to take all these and basically turn them into their mineral, and we'll do that in kind of a fun way. So let me grab all this stuff and get to a better location, and I'll see you there in a second. Alright guys, so I brought all the ores that I mined over the past couple days, and here's what we got. We have 27 emerald ore, we got 125 diamond and 125 lapis, and we got 1210 redstone ore. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and Fortune 3 all these, and I want you guys to guess what I'm going to get out of it. So you guys pause the video right now if you need to. Write down in the comments what you think I'm going to get out of 27 emerald with this Fortune 3 pick. How many diamonds am I going to get? 125 diamond ore there, 125 lapis, and again, 1210 redstone. So pause the video, put down your guesses. Guys, don't cheat on this. I want to see if you're able to come close to the final results. And as you're guessing, I'm going to go ahead and get started in breaking all these down so you guys can see the final result. So I'll see you in a second. Alright guys, got it all torn down. My Fortune 3 pick did take quite a beating on that. And as you can see, my XP levels have gone up. I can't remember what I was at to begin with. 61, I think. I'll have to look back and see. But anyway, yeah, got some XP levels from it. So, hopefully you guys had a chance to put down what you thought the outcome would be already in the comments. And here we go. So we started with 27 emerald ore, and we ended with 57 emeralds. Alright, so hopefully you guys got close to that. And we had 125 diamond ores, and we ended up with 297 diamonds. So not bad there. And then we had 125 lapis ores, and we ended up with a total of 1,629 lapis. So I'm set for a while. That's awesome. And finally, the redstone. We started off with 1,210, and ended up with, as you can see, all these, plus what's in my inventory here because I ran out of chest room, and a full double chest, and then these in here. So the total on that was 5,974. So not bad, not bad. Pretty good. So anyway, that was fun, and I'm rich. So yeah, I feel pretty good. So yeah, it was a lot of branch mining, a lot of caving, but yeah, I got diamonds for days. So that was fun. All right, guys, let's get on to the project. First things first. A couple episodes back when I was building this restaurant, hopefully you guys all saw that. If not, go back, I think 2 episodes ago, and you'll see me building this up. You'll see how the selector panel works and all that good stuff. And I asked for a restaurant name. So a lot of good suggestions were thrown out there. Finally, the one that I didn't actually pick it verbatim from a suggestion. I kind of combined a couple different suggestions, and I wanted to incorporate the Moonlight name into it, moreover than my own. So what we're going to call this restaurant is Moondoggy's Restaurant Bar and Grill. So let's see here. We'll go ahead and change out this sign to Moon. Let's see, how do I want to do this? Doggies. Show possession there. I always have a hard time spelling restaurant. Restaurant, bar, and grill. There we go. Moondoggy's Restaurant, Bar, and Grill. And that's what it's going to be. So hopefully you guys enjoy the name. And what we have left to do for the rest of this episode is, if you guys remember, I had the selector panel, but really it doesn't do anything. It was just, just a good proof of concept. I am going to have to flip this design around. I was trying to see if I could flip it inwards to save some space. I'm going to flip this design around, and then what I'm going to do is hook up some hopper filters, and then the hopper chain will kind of come off the back here, and that will hook up to all the different farms that we're going to supply this thing with food from. So basically all the farms can hook up to a single hopper chain, and it will do the rest as far as sorting, and then the selector mechanism will choose which hopper it's going to allow to unload as a person makes their selection from the control panel and pays. I think for payment I'm going to go with lapis. Originally I thought diamonds, but then I figure who's going to pay diamonds for a stack of steak? They'd probably just make their own. So we're going to go with lapis just because that seems more of a kind of currency in the game today. Lapis and diamonds are nice because it's not something that you can duplicate or have a farm for. You actually have to mine them. So I like that. And so anyway, yeah, I'm going to go grab all the redstone supplies and bring them over here so we can get working on it, and I'll be right back. Alright guys, so I brought over all the supplies that I'm going to need to get this thing going. I ripped out the redstone for the selector panel that I had basically facing the wrong direction. And I'm going to go ahead and start building up all the redstone that's going to be needed to make this entire restaurant function. So since my voice is still struggling a bit, I figured I would let you guys enjoy another time lapse. So grab your snacks, sit back and relax, and hopefully enjoy. See you in a sec. Alright, I got it all wired up. Before I jump into the redstone, let me just remind you guys how this thing works. So basically the way it works is you come in here and you take a look. On the right side we're going to have some food like chicken and beef and pork and stuff like that. And on the left side we're going to have potions eventually. But right now I've only got one item filtered and set and stocked up, and that's the chicken here. So we're going to go ahead and switch the item frame to that. You'll hear a piston move in the background. And then the next thing you do is you notice this light is off. That means we have not yet paid for our food. So we're going to need to come to this chest and deposit a lapis. And you'll see that light turns on, so that means we are good to go. We've paid, and we hit that button, and it's going to do a little bit of magic. And if we take a look in this chest, we should start to see chicken. And they're going to come on in one by one, and we'll wait for that to finish. In the meanwhile, we'll go in the back here, take a look at this. You should see some blinking lights going on. Basically what's happening here is a signal, a pulse is being sent through. It's going to be sent through exactly 64 times, and it's going to be sent through, in this case, this one block right here, because we've got the selector set to that. And it's going to go through, make sure that this dropper gets activated and that dropper only, and that's the one with all the chicken in it. And this is all set up with a item filter, a sorter right here. And basically this is the one with the overflow protection, so you can see the alternating pattern so the signals don't cross each other, and basically if you get too many items in, it won't make the other ones drain. If you guys know that the regular sorting system does that, so this one has that protection, something that JL2579 came up with and some of the other guys at the ZipCrowd server. So I'm using that design just to make sure that if the other farms that are sending me their goods kind of oversupplies me, it can handle that, no problem. And so basically here, let me walk through this kind of from start to finish. So the first thing we did was we selected our chicken, and it was right there. So that sends a specific signal, and in this case it's just one. And you'll see what that does is it allows this selector to be powered right there. And you know, if you were to move it down one, it would power this next one, and only that one would be on. I think I showed you guys that a couple episodes ago. And what that does is we take that signal, carry it across, and we're going to power this piston right here. And this is the one that's extended downwards, and it's going to put that block right behind that dropper right there. And then since that's the only one extended, all we need to do is send pulses through. And you can see here, these pulses won't go anywhere because these pistons aren't extended. And this one will actually make that dropper activate and send the chicken upward into this hopper chain and over to our chest inside. So that's how that's working. The next piece is the timer. So how do we determine whether or not we get 64 chicken? And that's done by a pulse extender done by Codecrafted. And what we have here is his pulse extender, and you can see that there's 60 dirt in there. So 60 items, we'll get 64 pulses out of this by bringing a torch off the back, and then we have just a regular hopper clock right here. So as this torch deactivates, this item's going to move back and forth and giving us a pulse. So this whole part of it was something that MumboJumbo put together for his, what was he called? Advanced Item Armoury, I think, a video he just released a little bit ago. So that actually helped me out quite a bit, seeing that come out, and is like pretty much exactly what I needed to do for the restaurant. I just had to make some modifications here and there. Including, you know, basically keeping track of a payment system and locking it and things like that. So let me show you that piece that I modified. And basically what I did is I overrode this hopper clock right here. So just because you hit the button doesn't mean you automatically are going to get the chicken. It's got another basically override, and that's this torch right here that says, you know, if you didn't pay me, I'm going to keep this hopper locked and not let this timer turn on. And so the way we control that is we'll follow this line all the way back. And you can see here, here's the chest, the input chest that you put your lapis into. There's an item filter underneath here. So basically it's saying it has to be lapis. If I put anything else other than lapis, it's not going to fall through. So people can't lose items, you know, if they make the wrong payment. And if they do put in lapis, it's going to increase this signal strength by 1. And that's going to set this repeater off, which is going to power this block right here, and then that dropper, which will shoot that dirt block up. And this is basically a RS NOR latch using droppers. And once that block is up, it's going to stay in there and power this comparator, into this block here, which turns this torch off, and this one on, and this one off, and then that basically unlocks this clock so that when you do hit the button, that clock will go, the 64 times that we want it to go. So that's all well and good. At the same time that unlocks the hopper clock there, it also sends a signal this way, up this line here. And what this does is it turns on the light to let you know you've paid. And it also powers this block here and basically locks this hopper so that if you were to throw in, more than the lapis than you need, so you put in a whole stack or you're already paid, it won't take another one from you. So here, let me put one in there. You could see basically that light turned on. If we go and we look, we got the dirt block up in here, and like I said, everything, this should be unlocked now. So the torch is off, and then basically that is now blocking this from taking another item. So see, can't pay again. So if somebody threw a whole stack in there, I'm not just going to rob them and take everything. Basically, it takes one at a time. So that's how it does that. And then the way it resets is kind of interesting as well. You can see that there's a track on top of this dropper. And that's because I'm going to bud power this dropper basically to send that block back. If I was to fully power it, it doesn't send the block back the way I need it to. So the way that works is if we look at how this thing is powered, you follow this line around, it's actually done by this torch. So imagine, hit the button, items start to flow over, and eventually this is going to turn on. This comparator is going to turn on the second an item gets put in here, which turns this torch off, and that's when this thing is going to retract. And as soon as all the items get put back over to that side, which is their default starting position, it's going to extend again. And when it extends again, that's when it bud powers this dropper and sends the block back, so the light turns off when the whole process is done. Whew, you follow? So I know it probably just melted your brain. This did melt mine a little bit, to be honest, but I got it all figured out in the end. And basically, this whole thing is mirrored over here, facing the other direction for the potions. And yeah, that's basically it. So next steps for me, and I'm going to do this off camera because the episode's getting kind of long and I'm still recovering, is I need to finish filling the filters up, the item sorter, with all the items that I want to have sold at the restaurant. It's getting dark, so we're going to hurry. And put an encasement around the restaurant, basically finish the design out and close all this redstone and basically create kind of the, the back door that truck deliveries deliver to. That would be right there. That's that hopper line there and one on that side for the potions. So I'll get that all done between episodes. I'm not going to leave options for this week. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to be working on the number 2, the second place choice from last week, which was my base structure. It's time to do it. I need to have a solid base. I've been kind of living at the mob farm, and I got to get out of the mob farm, guys. I'm obsessed with that place, so I need a solid base to stay in. So I'm going to go ahead and work on that. That's going to be my next episode, and I have some ideas for what I want to do on top. You guys gave me some ideas, some good ones, but I'd still like to hear more ideas if you have for my base structure. And remember, that's on top of the floating mountain back there. Hopefully I'll clean up the vines and things like that between episodes as well. And that's going to do it for me today, guys. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please remember to hit that like button. It really does help me out quite a bit. And with that said, I will see you again next time. Have a good one, everyone.